Flosstube, it's Nerissa from Nerissa Stitching Lifestyle in Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome. This is Flosstube number 41 of my cross stitch journey. We've got lots to cover today. Today is 23rd of January 25. Oh, the month, it's flying by very fast. So I've done a wee bit of stitching. I've touched quite a few projects. I've worked on quite a few projects, but we'll go through them as we see fit. So we'll start with my morning stitches. Just going to move the bag a little wee bit. Right, so my morning stitch before I go to work in the mornings is set number 4 of 12 days of Christmas stockings. Now, when we were here last, I had, undo the clip, Nerissa, I had number 11 fully finished. These are stitched with called for threads, DMC threads. I've done mine on 32 count black, and there's the back. Okay, so number 11 was finished. Number 1 is fully finished and beaded, just not FFO'd. Number 2 is in the same position, so that was where we were last time. Number 3, 4, 5 and 6 we had progress started on them, and I just realized I didn't bring a blackboard. Okay, so now excuse me, number 3 is finished being stitched and beaded. Okay, number 4 has finished being stitched and beaded. These are so cute. Number 5 is finished being stitched and beaded, and so has number 6. So we're over halfway now in this set, and this is where I'm at. We'll put another piece behind just to darken it. This is where I'm at for set number 7. So maybe tomorrow morning we should just about get that done, and then we'll be into number 8. So that is my 12 days of Christmas stockings by Anniebeez Designs. These are lovely to stitch on. I absolutely love them. Thank you so much for designing them, Annie. Especially for me to stitch so many sets is an addiction, I feel. We've got a list today because we've got quite a bit to cover. Okay, so I'm just going to lean forward for a second. Right, so as you know, as you know, I have Christmas stitching. I've got smalls stitching this year, and I've also got all my samplers. And the only new things I'm starting are Christmas ornaments until August. I am holding me to that. So I've had lots of people sending me things for encouragement to start, and I've resisted so far, and I know it's only, what, 3 weeks into January, but it's hard. Ooh. Okay, so black and white copy, but Mrs. Claus. Now, she is from Etsy, xstitch _ stories. And she is absolutely gorgeous. She's going to be a stand-up. Now, she is being stitched. Her, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, there's 2 of them. This is all of the threads. See there? Lots of golds, browns, reds, burgundies. Oh, love it. And this is where I'm at so far. Now, this is the bottom. It's the apron of Mrs. Claus's dress. And here's her dress so far. So I've kind of been colour completing as I go. We've completed one 2, 3 colours, and we're up to here with colour number 4 coming across with the different reds and pinks. I absolutely love this. This is being stitched on with my eyeballs a little bit. 32 count, just plain white swagart. But I do love how Mrs. Claus is coming together. So she just gets a couple of threads. I actually take this one to work, and I do this in my lunch break. Most days I'll pick up and at least get a whole length of thread done. Okay, so that's my last Christmas one I've been working on. My next project I have been working on is an oldie bit of goodie. And it's been in my stash for a long time, and like had literally started it a long time, need to get going on it. Is Needleworker from Little House Needleworks. Good old classic stitching. Now I am doing mine on, and what did I do with that? It is 25 count, and it's like a silvery swagart. I'm not doing the neutral background. Well, it's a neutral, but not the beige. Okay, so when we were here last time, we had the top parts of the N, the E, the D was half done. So this time round, I've finished the D, the L, and the third E. I've put in some of the berries and some of the leaves. Now, this yellow along here is the thread, and it's supposed to be in this white, but it just doesn't show up even on camera really, and it doesn't show up in real life, so I've left it in there. I'll unstitch that, but I'm going to do a yellow thread coming off my needle instead, because we've still got to do the worker, and then there's a needle under here, and that's where the thread goes, and then the bird. I wanted to leave the bird towards the end. Now I haven't decided if I'm going to do the border at the top and the border at the bottom yet, and then we've still got the dark brown and underneath each of the letters. It's a bit better, isn't it? Less glare. So that is Little House Needleworks Needleworker. Well, for me, a quick stitch. This has only had, the first session we didn't do much because it was basically to get it started. Second session, of course, we got the 3 letters, and then third session is where we're up to now. So it's a pretty quick stitch, but that's probably, because it's a real silver, it's a bit hard to get it in there on full focus. Stitching with called for threads, except for, of course, I added in, where is he, my yellow, which was 744 DMC. I'm using up some scraps, and the dark brown. I haven't got the dark brown in the thread, but I'm just going to pull a DMC and use that. In the bird, which is in most of the dark brown, I'm going to pick a different kind of thread to do, hence why I'm saving the bird towards the end. Okay, so that is all of my smalls, or what I consider my smalls in my Christmas stitching. Okay, so what next? Right, let's go with the birthday starts and birthday whips, eh? It's going to duck behind. Okay, so as you know, I said last time it was my birthday coming up. Well, my birthday has now been. Thank you very much for all the birthday wishes. Really appreciate it. All right, so there were 3 projects to work on for my birthday, on or around my birthday. The first one was Sarah Milthorp, 1834. So I have 2 threads that I stitch regularly with, whose birthdays we're all within the same week. One of them actually share a birthday and the other one is a few days before us. So the three of us, we're doing these stitches. So that's why I have 3 birthday projects on the go this year. So I already started Sarah Milthorp, and Susie was starting her for her birthday start. So here is where I got to on mine. We've made some great progress. Let me see. So when we were last here, the house was done. The only thing left in the house is to fill in the door. And I've still got to go on the internal window panes for 1, 2, 3 windows. And then that will be the house finished. But that's great stitching, get together, fill in. So we're going to leave that for that. These trees here were already done. We'd finished those. Now we had done the big branches of the trees on this one and on this one. So this time round we filled in the trees, both of them, the berries on the trees, or apples, whatever you want to call them, the pots under each one, the little shrubs next door to the houses, and then the flowers on each side, because then I will be able to bring the book back up. So this is pretty much the central part here done. So I can come across from these guys here and whip around and do the outside line of that border, which is my next goal, to get that done. And then I can go in between border and the other little bits. I'd like to leave these two towards the end. I'd like to get the bottom. I want to come down, get that bottom, and work my way back up again. So Sarah is being stitched on. Got a tag on here. No, I haven't. It must be on here. I know I dyed it myself. It is on 40 count. Yeah, just 40 count that I've dyed myself. And a light tan, and then over dyed with a slightly darker tan to that big blotchy effect. But once it's filled in, a lot of that will be hidden. I'm stitching mine with DMC threads. So because a lot of it is bitsy, and when I say bitsy, I mean, you know, little wee blue things here, and then you're stopping, starting, and blue's not again till for a while. I'm just using up a lot of my older DMC threads, because as long as I'm not joining with a new one in this area, nobody's going to see that it's a different blue. Does that make sense? It does to me. Because if I was doing it in the house, like the house I bought a new skein for, 2 skeins to make, or use 2 new skeins to make sure that everything was the same and in the same dye lot, rather than a bit of here and a bit of there. Whereas leaves can be slightly different greens if the dye lots change slightly. The blues can be, you know, there's ones you can separate out. But I do love how Sarah is coming together really nicely. I'm so excited to really be putting in a lot of time into her. Okay, I'm just going to pop, because I'm going to have threads everywhere. Pop her there. Okay, so my next one, find where I've put it, that I had already started. So that's with Susie. That was Susie's choice. Next one is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I'm stitching this one with Tanya. I already had mine started, and Tanya started hers. We got together a few days after our birthday, because we were both working on our birthday, and got to get together and have a stitch. So she started and I just worked a little bit more on mine. And I do love the Teresa Kogut. I love the colours. So I'm doing mine on, let me see, number 12 Stitch Co. Let's have a look. Russian Caramel 46. So up the top here, I'll kind of leave it where you can only see that at the moment. That is what I had before I went and stitched with Tanya. So then I couldn't really decide what I wanted to work on while I was there, but I ended up I came down the side while I was there, doing the whirlies for the outside border, and started coming in along here. So then I brought the line down and along. So I got home later that day and thought, oh, do you know what? I just want to get this border outline done. So I carried on bringing this one down. And then about here, we had to unpick it 3 times. Counting to 3 is really hard some nights. But we got there in the end. I was half a stitch out, and you know, when you're tired, you can't see it. So I had unpicked it, left it, and I had to actually unpick further back to the bottom of this one here, was where the error was that put me half a stitch out for nothing to match. So we're perfect now, all squared. It's kind of, that there is probably a bit more about the colour of the fabric. So Let Love Rain is, what did I say, 46 count. I am stitching it with DMC threads. Love the colours in this. Can't wait to get into those big blues. Yeah, 1 thread over 2. Now that we're getting to be able to have most of the framework done, I don't know where I'm going to head next, but I'll probably just finish up the border because some of them need these second stitches on. They've only got the one angle. And then I think what I would probably do is start doing these divider lines and get them in so that then I can go wherever I want. So if I want to stitch something up here, I can. If I want to come down and start on this big pot and get some of that done, I can, or work on some border kind of in between. So I'm not too sure on my plan of attack for Let Love Rain, but absolutely love stitching on this. So that was birthday number 2. Might as well hold that board in our other hand. So for me, my birthday start, which I did start on my birthday, and I stitched it on my birthday and on a little bit the day after, and then a little bit on the Saturday that I caught up and did some stitching with Tanya. I stitched on this as well at night once I got frustrated with the other one. And that is Serenity by Teresa Kogut. This one came out at market last year, and oh my gosh, I do love the colours in this. I love that the butterflies here are quite blended in. This big house, can't wait to get to that. But I'll show you where I got to. So I've got quite a bit done. I'm quite pleased with my little wee self. And this is where I'm at. I'll bring it in. It is going to blow out a wee bit, sorry. Rightio. So I have done the full alphabet along that part there, which is this part here. And I did that because this is on a whole yard of fabric. And I know it's not going to need a whole yard of fabric. But I wanted it on this particular fabric, which is, by the way, probably tell you that, shouldn't we? Oh, I don't have a tag on it. Oh, 46 count hog bristle. And so I started up here, came down this part of the border. These little wee red ones have still got to be filled in. They're in a different red on the inside. Started coming down this border and then thought, right, I want to come across here. So I got that square, and this square basically up to here done on my first day. And then when I picked it up the next day, I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to go? So I kind of come up and I started going along this border line. And then I thought, well, that's a bit silly because I don't know how wide I really need to go. So the logical one was to come across all of this. So we finished the ABC and the numbers 1 and 2. Then I came back and I did the arch in the middle, which is for the bird, around the bird. Sorry, the glare from my light. Around the bird there in the middle. So that means I can now start working off the branches of those. And then I did, I guess, the tree, if you like, the stump, the trunk, ready so that the bird can be, the leaves in the bird can be taken off that. So since I got all the way across here and finished this, I then went back and I brought this along and started coming from here, coming up. So I've now got my base of my outline border, and this over here will be repeated down this side, and then there's a different border pattern along the top. But definitely love how that's going out. That there is probably closer to the colours. Love my birthday start. Can't wait to get back into stitching that some time this week. We'll try and put some more love into that one. Okay, so that was all the birthday whips, the birthday start and the 2 birthday whips. Really enjoying working on them. Let's have a look. We're just going to grab this one before we go too much further. Okay, so since it's since it's January, it is Blessing Sampler Month, and my sampler I chose this year was out of A Heart Remembers from Blackbird Designs book. I love these little guys in here. There's quite a few in here. You will start to see this year. Where My Heart Blooms was the one that I chose to stitch for my Blessing sampler. And we have finished. Mine was stitched on 40 count. Salted Caramel from number 12 Stitch Co. Sorry, I'm just gonna put into a book. I'm running out of boards. I'm just gonna buy some more boards. Yeah, that's really blowing out. There is about the colour. Okay, so 40 count Russian Caramel. All done. I did leave the initial out there for Barb. I've left that off, and then it had something here. Oh, it had a date in here, and I'm not worried about a date. I don't want that on there, so I've just left that out. Doesn't really affect that much, but love that. So yay, Blessing sampler done and completed. 40 count using leftover DMC threads. I need to spend a day putting some more on some floss rings. Love that one. So it is going to be framed. I have got the frames, and I'm going to frame them myself with this one here. So they're going to be on matching frames, which is also out of the same book. I don't quite have it, looks like enough, but it's not quite. The next one I want to do out of that book is the one that's on the front page, long skinny one, and I'm about that much too short to put it on the same fabric. So that's okay. We will put it onto a different fabric and use that for something else. But that won't be started until August. Right, so that's the Blessing sampler done. Okay, let me just check my little notesies. Let Love Rain, Sarah, Serenity and Heart. Okay, so then we are up to my leap year sampler, which was started on 29th of February last year, and we didn't do much last year. So this year it's getting worked on every fortnight. Lucy is being stitched on 40 count linen that I've dyed myself using the DMC threads, 1 thread over 2. And this is Lucy. Lucy Navier, 1818, and she was Queen of the May in 2019. And she is gorgeous. I do love her. She's a big girl though. So this is her fabric. There's the bottom of the fabric. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this flower up here we already had done. So all across here we had done. And this flower is the center at the top. So we've still got to come this way yet. Alright, so I had stitched down to here. And then this time when I picked it up, I carried on and I came all the way down to the bottom, and then I've made an area here, so I've unpicked it because I know I need to unpick all the rest of this. I was out by half a stitch again. It's a problem when you do some of these smaller fabrics, just get you out a little wee bit. So they are done. So each external flower has its green and its base of yellow, base of like a tanny colour, and then they're all going to have this yellow in. There's different coloured flowers that come down the inside, so I started doing the blue centres of one of them, and the other ones are a green and then a bright yellow flower on them. So the aim was, before I found my area, was this was the corner, and I wanted to do the flower on the corner because then I could start in that huge big grass area at the bottom, because that's where I'd like to put a lot of the work in this year. But it's okay. We will pick Lucy back up again and get going on her very soon. Like I said, once a fortnight she's coming out for at least a stitching session, and not a short one after work. It's like one of those ones when I have a day off, just because she takes a little bit more time. But she's going to be a big girl. Just might have to go in my bedroom wall, this one, I think, eventually, one day, when she's completely finished. Okay, and there's all the colours in Lucy. Love it. I love the splash. I can't wait to get over there, but that's going to be a while yet. There's like this dark blue here. It's like out of the blue, you've just got this dark blue. Okay, so that's Lucy. Righty ho. So another one I've been working on with a stitch along with Susie and Jude. So Susie's finished. Jude, he's been working on hers, I believe. So Susie started this in January last year for her birthday. Our patterns didn't arrive in time, so I didn't start mine until we went to the Christchurch retreat, which was in beginning of March last year. Christchurch retreat, or New Zealand Christchurch retreat, is in Christchurch again this year at the beginning of March. And I really want to be able to put my last stitches of Martha in there, because seriously, this should not have taken me a year, because she's not that big. But I did put a lot of love into Martha this fortnight, and we've completed the border. So here is where my Martha is at. She is being stitched on 40 count. It started out as like just a white base, dyed it and then over dyed it with a bit of splotching, just to give it that aged effect. So this side here is where I worked on. I'd mostly done this corner here, but I needed to finish a couple colours in the big pink flowers, and then I came up and up and up and up, and I got right to the top, and then I had to come around the corner and this flower here. So we are now the whole border completed. I am so pleased with where I've got to. Now, I know I've said previously in my Flosstubes that I am like saving the bird for last, but when I look closely at the pattern, I'm just going to pop Martha down for a minute. When I look closely at the pattern, There's a lot of stitching still to go in this bird. Like I've only gone here and up here, so I've still got all of this, and then the bird, and then all of this, which then means it's easier to base these two parts off, these two parts, that one and this one, rather than trying to come across here, especially if there's an error and this ends up too close. I don't want that. So I'm going to break my original thoughts and I'm going to work on the bird. She's been calling me. I hear her. She says my name. It's really bad. So I'm going to stitch the bird next. Really want to get into that tail. Oh my god. But top of the bird first. That's my deal with myself. So yes, really pleased with where I got on Martha. Absolutely pleased. So looking forward to that. Martha's actually going to be stitched on this afternoon if you really want to know. We're just going to pop her over here on the couch. She will be my stitching while this is uploading. Okay, so Martha is done. Lucy, we've done. Okay, so another one that was pulled out for a stitching session, hasn't been out this year yet, was Examplars from the Heart and They Sinned. Oh my gosh, I love this big sampler. So she is being stitched on 40 count hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit. So if we step back, this is the fabric folded in half. The other edge is up here behind. So last year, if you remember right, we'd finished off all of this and we had done down here minus this alphabet in here. Done this border and we're starting to come down. So I picked it up and I thought I could do what was in here or I could do the alphabet, and I decided to do the alphabet. Now in the pattern, a little bit hard to see, there is numbers and numbers here as well. I'm leaving those off, and the reason why is because when I'm finished or close to being finished, and I know I'm going to finish it that year, I'm going to put the date in here and I'm going to put my name in here, because there's not really anywhere else to pop any of those sort of details. Like here's all full coverage, there's just nowhere unless I leave that verse out, and I don't want to do that. So that's the logical, is to put it in with the alphabet. But I don't want to jinx it and put 2025 or 2026 and it ends up being 2027 when it gets finished. I mean, I can put my name in it, but I'm going to leave it and finish that part last. Do love the colours though. So apart from three DMC threads that I pulled because I couldn't get the Classic Colourworks at the time, the rest of it is Classic Colourworks. There's lots of lovely colours in here. So when I pick it up again, we'll probably come down this way and finish these borders. There is, if I bring the sides down, we can come down to this part here. And then it means I've got that to fill in and to go back and pull these peacocks and that in there. But it just means you're not kind of working all the way down. Come down to the border, fill it in and come up. Which is about the bottom, about halfway through these people here is the bottom of page 2. So if I can get down to there, then that would be good. I'd like to get down to here by the end of the year, but that could be, you know, it's a big ask. There's a lot of stitching in that. But you never know. Okay, so that was And They Sinned. Alright, so these are my clip coming up there. So I'll make sure I keep threads with specific produce. Most of them are labelled, but it's, you just never know, do you? Righty ho. So my last whip that I worked on this time round. I've pulled the stitching out, not the brochure. Hold on one moment. Okay. Lots. Charlotte Warrington, 1838 by Needlework Press. As you know, mine is being stitched on 46 count hog bristle, fox and rabbit. And I started down the bottom, down here, and I've come across, and I've done this tree. I've still got one colour to fill in the middle of it. We've done the deer. This time round, did the Adam and Eve, and started the tree. Oops, sorry. And this is where we're at. So Adam and Eve are completed. Got their apples. There's still a little bit of greenery to go on the apples. The snake has been done, which is perfect timing because it is the year of the snake. So he's been done. So we started doing some of the fruit up here, and then I'll work in the greenery of the leaves. Kind of just having a break from doing those because the green that's in these leaves up here is the exact same green that's in the grass down here. I did put another 3 lengths in across here, just in that background fill, and that's what I'm trying to do, is kind of do a motif, a length of that, do another motif, a length of this. I need to do probably a bit more in here, so I really would like to get through. I was very tempted to go straight to that red house this time when I started. I thought, no. Let's do Adam and Eve, let's do the heart, do the tree. I need to go back and put the green that's in this is also the same green that's in the grass. So it's a lot of the same thread coming along the bottom here. But love how this is coming. I'm in no hurry to stitch this, but I like pulling it out and having at least a session on it, or 2 little sessions, evening sessions, each fortnight, just to keep it going, keep this one going, because if I put this one down, not that I wouldn't pick it back up, but I really just want to see that progress. Love seeing the progress on it. Okay, so that is Charlotte. Righty ho. So that is my whip list for this time round. I am doing the 12 and 12 ornaments with Instagram for this year with Carol, and I have picked my ornament, and I remember saying to everybody that I'd chosen that I was going to do them out of the Just Cross Stitch ornament issues. There's some really amazing patterns in any of these. I've got every issue, I think, bar 1. And that's okay, you know, it is what it is. But you buy them, you look at them, you think, oh, I'll stitch that, and you forget to go back and do them. So I'm making a conscious effort this year to stitch ornaments out of these ornament books. I'm still going to do other ornaments, but I want at least 12 ornaments from the Just Cross Stitch ornament books this year. So this one is from 2000, Christmas 2000, so it's an older edition. The pattern I've decided to choose is called Peaceful Nights by R&R Productions, which is this guy here. He's so cute. I'm doing him, they say 30 count. You know I'm not going to do it on 30 count. 36 count scrap. And the DMC threads. So just, like I said, when I do ornaments, and especially these little wee ones, just using up the scraps, you know. There's not enough there to do much with. Just using up the scraps. I can't wait. That is also on my to get started today. Because it is, what did I say, the 23rd. I've got 7-8 days to get this ornament stitched and finished before the end of the month. I've left it a little bit late. Okay, so that really is all of my stitching. Done very well, I feel. I just want to say thank you to everybody for popping back and watching regularly. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. The numbers have gone up just a little wee bit, I'm guessing over the Whip Parade period. I will admit I've watched, I don't know how many Whip Parades at the moment. And at the moment in my watch later list, I have a whole pile of Flosstube #1 Whip Parades that have just come out. So a whole heap of new stitches, and I just thought maybe this afternoon I'll put that on. But I think there's about 9 hours worth of programs there, so I need a little bit of time to sit and watch those. We'll get them done though. But it's great. It's great to see this community is growing. I really enjoy all of it. The comments, the likes, the questions that they're coming back. Just relating with everybody. You know, it's our hobbies. It's our favourite pastime. It is for me. Alright, so when we come back next time will be in a couple of weeks. So that will be okay. It's going to be what, beginning of February. Yep. So we're full into stock take prep at the moment, and stock take was supposed to be this week, and it's now been pushed back a couple of weeks. So we'll be starting all the pre-counting and all of that. At the moment it's all the organising, making sure everything's there, everything's ready to go, and then we'll start that for work. So it's a bit boring, but that's all right. Then it will be finished the week before retreat, which, whew, thank goodness for that. But we'll be okay. All right, so remember everybody, one stitch at a time we'll get our projects done, whether it's our big samplers, whether it's our little ornaments, whether it's just a middle-sized project, one stitch at a time. Happy stitching everybody. Bye.